Today we're going to learn how to make a sandwich. Not just any sandwich, but a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich is a sandwich that has peanut butter and it also has jelly. It's a very good sandwich, and if you like sandwiches, I'm sure you will like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Before we get started though, I should mention a few things to you. Number one, the first thing is that you should click on the like button and also click on the subscribe button. You can do that now and it'll only take a second, but it will mean the world to me. Just click the subscribe button one time very quickly. The subscribe button is the button down there that says the word subscribe on it. Here, I will show you what the button looks like. No, don't click this button. Click the button down there that looks like this one. Very quickly, just tap that button or click that button. Good. And now, also, click the like button. The like button is a button that looks like a hand giving a thumbs up. See that right there? This is what the button looks like. No, don't click this one. Click the button down there that looks like this one. Okay? Tap it or click it very quickly. You got that? Okay, good. That was number one, the first thing. Now the second thing, which is number two. Number two is that today you will need to pay attention to my hands. Normally, you would look at my face. Today, I will be showing you things with my hands and not with my face. If you watch my face, you will not see what I'm doing with my hands, and you will not learn how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So make sure that you don't pay attention to my face, but you do pay attention to my hands. Okay? So, let's start with the basics. In order to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we are going to need some ingredients and some tools. We'll start with the tools. The first tool we'll need is a spoon. Spoons can come in many different shapes and sizes and materials. To make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you will need a spoon that can be any material. It can be metal, it can be plastic, it could be wood. But the one important thing about your spoon is the size. Your spoon has to be big enough to fit into the jelly jar. If your spoon is too big, it won't fit into the jelly jar, and you won't be able to get jelly out of the jar with the spoon. So find a spoon that is a good size for your jelly jar. Also, you're going to need a knife. A knife can also come in many different materials. A knife can come in many different styles. You can get a Bowie knife, a steak knife, a butterfly knife, or a pocket knife. Today we're going to use a butter knife. A butter knife is a good knife for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because it is not very sharp. Other knives are very sharp, and you could hurt yourself with another knife, but it would be very hard to hurt yourself with a butter knife. So today we're going to use a butter knife. And that's all the tools that you need. But you will also need ingredients. The first ingredient for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is bread. You can see that this bread is sandwich bread because this bread is already sliced. You could use a different bread to make a sandwich. You could use a bread that's not already sliced, but then you would have to slice it yourself. And if you sliced it yourself, you would need a knife that is sharper than a butter knife. So to keep things simple, you should use sandwich bread that is already sliced. So the first thing we need to do is open your sandwich bread. You can see we have this here is called a twist tie. If you twist it in one direction, gets closed down, which will not allow you to open the bread back. So we need to twist in a different direction so that it opens up. Because in order to make a sandwich, you will need to take the bread out of the bread bag. So twist the twisty tie until it is no longer closed. Once it is no longer closed, you can open the bread pack, take out one slice of bread, and take out another slice of bread. And now you have 2 slices of bread. 2 slices. You cannot make a sandwich with 1 slice of bread. And we're not going to need 3 slices of bread to make a sandwich or 4 slices. Only 2 slices of bread. Since we have all the bread that we'll need to make our sandwich, now we can close the bread bag and put it away. So we have 2 slices of bread, 1 slice, 2 slices. What you will also need to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is jelly. Jelly is a very important ingredient in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can use any jelly that you want to use. You can use raspberry jelly. You can use strawberry jelly like I'm using. Many people like grape jelly as well. You do not want to use petroleum jelly. Do not use petroleum jelly in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because that would not make a good sandwich. So stick to a jelly that is a fruit jelly. The other ingredient you'll need is peanut butter. This is a very good peanut butter. Make sure that you're getting peanut butter and not peanuts. Peanuts also come in a jar, but peanuts are not the same as peanut butter. Peanuts are much more crunchy than peanut butter, and they will not make a good sandwich. So make sure that what you're using is peanut butter. It can be creamy peanut butter. It can be crunchy peanut butter. It could be honey peanut butter. It could be natural peanut butter. Today, we're going to use creamy peanut butter. The first step that you're going to want to follow with the peanut butter is you're going to want to take the lid off of the jar. It's possible to get the peanut butter out of the jar when the lid is on the jar. No matter how hard you try, you will not be able to get the peanut butter out of the jar until you take the lid off of the jar. To open the lid of the jar, we're going to turn the lid counterclockwise. If you turn the lid clockwise, the lid will get tighter and the lid will not come off of the jar. You need to turn counterclockwise so that the lid gets looser and the lid can come off of the jar. What's counterclockwise? Oh, well, I'm glad that you asked. If you looked at the top of this jar as if it were a clock, 12 o'clock would be right here, and 1 o'clock would be right here. 2 o'clock would be right here. 3 o'clock would be right here. So if the clock was moving, it would travel in this direction. 12, 1, 2, 3, and the numbers would get bigger. A clock always travels in a clockwise direction. Clocks never go counterclockwise. because that would be backwards. And it would go 3, 2, 1, 12, and that would be incorrect. So clocks will always travel in this direction, which is clockwise. To take a lid off of a jar, you want to travel in this direction, which is counterclockwise. Turn the lid counterclockwise, and the lid will become loose, and you can take the lid off of the jar. Once the lid is off of the jar, you can see the peanut butter inside. But when the lid is on the jar, you can't see the peanut butter. So if you turn the lid counterclockwise, and you can see the peanut butter, then you know you've taken the lid off of the peanut butter jar. Next, we want to take our knife and put it into the peanut butter jar, and with a scooping motion, take some peanut butter out of the jar. Now, if you get too much peanut butter, you can scrape the peanut butter off the knife and start over. If you stick the knife in the jar and you do not use a scooping motion, you will not get any peanut butter, or you'll get a little peanut butter, but it's not enough peanut butter for a sandwich. So then you'll want to try again, and you'll stick the knife into the peanut butter jar and use a scooping motion to get peanut butter out of the jar. And that's enough peanut butter for a sandwich. So I'll just move this jar out of the way, and you can watch as I take a piece of bread and spread the peanut butter across the bread. Start on one side and move the knife to the other side and push down very lightly. If you push down like this, it is too hard and you will break your bread. If you push down not enough, the peanut butter will not come off of the knife onto the bread. This step may take some practice. If you put too much peanut butter on one side of the bread, gently scrape it off and move it to the other side of the bread. When you do this, you may find that it takes a couple of tries to spread the peanut butter evenly across the bread, and that's okay. Just keep practicing until you get it right. You want to cover almost the entire surface of one side of the bread with the peanut butter. Do not cover both sides of the bread with the peanut butter. One side of the bread must have no peanut butter, and one side of the bread must have all the peanut butter. If you put peanut butter on both sides of the bread, your hands will get very messy, and you will not enjoy eating your sandwich. Now you may have guessed, but what do you think goes on the other slice of bread? You're right. We put peanut butter on one slice of bread and jelly on the other slice of bread to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Very similar to the peanut butter, we will need to remove the lid from the jelly jar to get in to the jelly. And also similar to the peanut butter jar, we will need to turn the lid counterclockwise to remove it. Do you need me to review counterclockwise? That's not a problem. A clock goes 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in this direction. This is how a clock moves. When you're removing a lid from a jar, you want to travel in this direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, which is counterclockwise. So we will turn this lid counterclockwise to take it off, and clockwise to put it back on. But today we're taking off the lid, so we will turn this lid counterclockwise so that we can see the jelly inside the jar. And now we're going to use our spoon. Remember I said the spoon needs to fit inside of the jar. If the spoon does not fit inside of the jar, we will not be able to get any jelly out of the jar. So let's take our spoon and put it into the jelly jar. We need to go far enough down so that it is in the jelly. Then with a scooping motion, we want to bring jelly out of the jar. It's okay if a little drops back in. Now remember to use the scooping motion, because if we just put the spoon in the jelly and pull it back out again, we will not get enough jelly for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So put the spoon in the jar and with a scooping motion, bring out the jelly. If you don't get enough jelly the first time, feel free to scoop a second time. And now we're going to put the jelly from the spoon onto our slice of bread. Not the slice of bread with the peanut butter, but the slice of bread that has no peanut butter. We may need to go into the jelly jar a second time with a second scooping motion and put some more jelly onto the bread. You can use a little bit of jelly, or you can use a lot of jelly. If you use too much jelly, the jelly may squirt out of the sides of the sandwich. The sandwich will still be a good sandwich, it will just be a messy sandwich. Now we take the back of the spoon. Now if you look at the spoon, there are two sides to a spoon. There's a side that can scoop, and then there's a side that cannot scoop. The scoop side goes down, and the not scoop side goes up. If you take the not scoop side, you can use it to spread the jelly across the bread. And you can spread the jelly just like you spread the peanut butter. You do not want to push too hard because you will rip the bread. But if you don't push hard enough, the jelly will not move at all. So you use the side of the spoon that is not the scooping side, and you use a little bit of pressure, but not too much, and you spread the jelly across the surface of this slice of bread that does not have peanut butter on it. And just like with the peanut butter, we do not want to put the jelly on both sides of the bread. We only want the jelly on one side of the bread. The other side of the bread should have nothing on it. Now, we're going to take both slices of bread and hold them on the sides that do not have peanut butter and the side that does not have jelly. Take the side that does have peanut butter and the side that does have jelly, and you push them together evenly so that all of the edges line up and the peanut butter is now touching the jelly. And on the outside of your sandwich, there is no peanut butter and there is no jelly. So you can hold your sandwich without getting peanut butter on your hands and without getting jelly on your hands. Some people would like to take their knife and to cut the sandwich in half. But that's kind of an advanced technique, and maybe you could learn that later. But now you have a sandwich that is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it is a delicious sandwich and a good sandwich. And you can... Wait, what's that? You're allergic to peanut butter. Well, you cannot eat this sandwich. You should not eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich if you are allergic to peanuts or peanut butter. Why didn't you say something? Do not make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. No, just don't make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I will have to show you how to make a bologna sandwich. Next time, I will show you how to make a bologna sandwich. But do not, I repeat, do not make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich if you are allergic to peanuts or to peanut butter. I will take this sandwich. You're fine. You're fine. Why don't you just go have a nap? And when you come back, we'll try something different. But until then, just try to have some sweet, sweet sugar dreams, okay? All right, go lay down.